monthly checks, and Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB, both at the same time? That's what we're going to focus on right here in the video. I have all the details and what you need to know, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to focus on a couple different things, including ongoing monthly checks, otherwise known as universal basic income, guaranteed basic income, ongoing recurring stimulus checks, basic income, whatever we want to call it. It's all essentially the exact same thing with a few minor differences. I also want to talk about those in conjunction with ongoing monthly checks from fixed income benefits like Social Security and all of those that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and how you could potentially get both of these simultaneously at the exact same time. We've got a lot to cover here in the video. Let's get right into it. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day to keep you informed of what is actually going on, and anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as things are happening and changing very, very rapidly. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so, and let's get into it and talk about the details of ongoing monthly checks with all of those different types of monthly checks, guaranteed basic income, universal basic income, recurring stimulus checks. Again, whatever we want to call it, they're all essentially the same thing, in conjunction with ongoing monthly benefits like those that are administered by the Social Security Administration, which I've mentioned throughout this video, right? So here's the thing. I want to point out the differences of these, and can you actually get both of these types of programs simultaneously at the exact same time? Because it's kind of interesting, okay? Now, I do want to give a comparison here in this video. Think of it this way. Remember back over the last couple years here, we've received a few different stimulus checks, right? Now, obviously, early 2020, late 2020, early 2021, it's been a couple years, but we did receive some stimulus checks. Did fixed income beneficiaries receive those? The answer is yes. Why? Because it's something totally different, okay? Fixed income benefits like Social Security and all of those that I've been mentioning throughout this video are totally different than stimulus checks. Two totally different things. So that's the comparison that I want to give really quickly. Now, let's think about monthly checks, okay? Monthly checks being like guaranteed basic income, universal basic income, whatever it happens to be. Now, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for any length of time now, you know, as of recently, as in the last 3 years or so, we've seen a ton of these different monthly check programs popping up. In fact, there's over 100 of them going on right here, right now across the entire country. A lot of people are getting ongoing monthly checks. You've heard me talk about a lot of these programs, and I've broken down the details of these. Essentially what it is they find, a certain demographic or a certain group of people within a specified area, and they say, these people are going to get ongoing monthly checks for X amount of time. Usually it's 12 months, 24 months, sometimes it's 36 months. In other words, 1, 2, or possibly 3 years in some instances. And generally the payments are anywhere between about $500 and $1,000. Most of the time, they're $500, but in some instances, they're a little bit more than that. $500, $600, $750, $1,000. There's even one program in New York where they're doing $1,250 a month for people, okay? So it also depends on where the program is located. Is it, located in a place that's higher cost of living like New York, right? It's expensive to live there, right? So if they're located in a place that has a higher cost of living, they may offer a little bit more money, but generally it's about $500 a month for most of these programs, okay? Now here's the thing, they're popping up all across the country. These are out there right now, and I can tell you this much, there will be many more of these coming up. Why? Because states are sitting on billions upon billions of dollars. They're sitting on massive surpluses. Not only that, over the last few years here, basically starting in early 2020 through about mid to late 2021, states got billions of dollars. Remember that? Back in 2021, the American Rescue Plan had $350 billion of state bailouts in there. Do you remember that? $350 billion of money that went straight to the states. What are the states doing with that money? Well, they're doing a lot of different things with it, right? They're sitting on it, they're spending a little bit of it, but here's the deal with that. They must spend that money or send it back to the federal government by the end of 2024. Do you think they're going to spend it, or do you think they're going to send it back? Highly doubt they're going to send it back, right? They will find something to do with it. Why would they send it back? They have the option, spend it or give it back. Well, Not sure about you, but if somebody gave me $350 billion and said, here, spend this or give it back, I would say, I will find a way to spend it. I promise. I'll find something to do with it. I'm not sure what, but I will spend it somehow, some way. I will do it. Don't worry. I will not be sending any back. You know what I mean? I think the states feel the exact same way, okay? So here's the deal. One of the things that they can do is they can set up these guaranteed basic income programs. They can send out these ongoing monthly checks as guaranteed basic income programs and use some of that money for it. They can also send out ongoing stimulus checks or state stimulus checks with this money. That is something else they can do with that money, okay? Which is probably why we've seen so many of these programs pop up here over the last couple of years, is because they have all this money and they're thinking, why don't we just spend a few million here, right? Few million there, whatever like that. So anyway, long story short, when it comes down to it, if a monthly check program pops up in your local area, or in the event they implement one of these on a nationwide scale, which I've been talking about for a while now, which is I completely 100% buy into the idea that at some point there will be a nationwide guaranteed basic income program. I have, without a doubt, I believe that there will be that thing. Why? There's just a lot of different reasons why. Mostly because of automation, AI, artificial intelligence, robots, whatever you want to call it. Again, all of that is pretty much the same thing. Basically, machines taking over the jobs of a lot of people. In fact, I recently saw some information came out. Some people are projecting that AI, artificial intelligence, robots, this type of thing could take over 80% of the jobs in the United States. That's a lot, right? So what do you think those people are going to be doing? If the jobs are gone, what are they supposed to do, right? So anyway, we will likely see this program. Now, is it going to happen next year or this year or in the next week? I don't really know. Probably not in the next week. This year? I don't know. Probably not this year either. Maybe. I just don't know, right? All I'm saying is at some point would not be shocked one bit at all to see that happen. So anyway, when it comes down to it, could you get these ongoing monthly checks as a result of any of these programs? Guaranteed basic income, universal basic income, ongoing monthly checks, whatever it happens to be, could you get them in conjunction with your ongoing payments from Social Security? The simple answer is yes, 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 100%. There's no reason that you wouldn't, okay? Remember this much. All of these programs are always income-based, every single time. They don't go out and say, well, you know, if you're between the ages of 50 and 52, living in this area, that's the only parameter you can get a check. No, sometimes they might have age parameters, but that's pretty rare. It's almost always based on income. They say if your income is below $40,000 a year, then you can grab some of these ongoing monthly check programs. And always these programs are focused on lower income individuals. They are never focused on higher income people, okay? Ever. They're never focused on higher income people. They're always focused on lower income people. So that's another thing that I want to point out as well, is that that's what these programs are always focused on. So this is what's going on. And again, we got to continue watching this, because any of these things popping up right now, any chance that there's additional money or funds or, you know, anything like that we could possibly grab or take advantage of course, we want to do that, because why wouldn't we, right? Especially if you're eligible for it. The best thing you could do would be grab it right away and, you know, make sure that you're eligible. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about here, which is these ongoing monthly checks. In the event one of these pops up in your backyard, in your local area, I would say if you feel like, you know, one of these programs pops up, you might want to apply for it. You just never know, right? Here's the thing. It's totally free to apply. Why wouldn't you, right? Worst case scenario, they say, sorry, you know, you're not eligible for XYZ reason. Okay, fine. Nothing changed. You're living in the same situation that you were prior to the application. So what changed? Nothing. You just didn't get the monthly checks, if that's the case, right? So I would say 100% of the time, if something like this pops up in your local area, apply. You just never know. You might get in, right? So otherwise, when it comes down to the nationwide checks like this that I've talked about before, and the legislation is out there to send out ongoing monthly checks like this on a nationwide scale, again, it's all going to be income-based. There will be no application. It's going to literally be looking at your income, okay? What kind of income would you report to the IRS in the event you reported your income to the IRS through a tax return? And again, I know a lot of you here in the community don't file tax returns. That's fine. Doesn't matter, okay? Just like the checks that we received over the last couple of years, Social Security would supply that information to the IRS, which they already have it anyway. So it's not like some big mystery. They already know. They know all this stuff. There's no mystery. You're not hiding anything from them. They know, okay? So that's what it'd be based on is income. They look at your income. Hey, your income's below the level. Boom, you're eligible. You know what I mean? So anyway, pretty interesting stuff. But yes, you could absolutely get both of these checks at the same time simply because they're not the same thing. They're totally different. Fixed income benefits from Social Security is something totally different than ongoing monthly checks, okay? Totally different. Just like stimulus checks and, basic income and fixed income benefits administered by Social Security, again, totally different things, which is why we could get into both, right? Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, hope this kind of answers the situation and, some of the things that are going on out there. The times are changing, like we've been saying for a while now, and this is the reality of the matter. And again, just want to bring this to your attention. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Of course, I will continue watching everything closely. As I get more information on anything, I'll bring it to your attention right away. So subscribe, share the video, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Hope this gives you a better understanding of what's going on out there, and I'll continue to be here for you every single day, no matter what. Enjoy. I'll catch you again later.